So one thing that I find almost so poetic, almost poetic justice, is how the universe works. Now look at p-diddy, right? This dude has been a slimeball snake for the longest. And one thing I know about snakes is they don't change. They just shed their skin and become a bigger snake. Now, let's go down why Brooklyn, where he's at in the federal detention center, is the worst possible place that he can be at. Life has a funny way of blessing you when you have pure intentions or destroying you when you're a piece of shit. Now, two people's lives that he had ruined are from Brooklyn, the notorious B.I.G. and Shine Poe. Now, B.I.G. is one of the biggest rap superstars in the history of the game. We all know who he is. He was on his record label. Puff was real shady. Ended up having him in an area where he was assassinated during one of the biggest gang rivalries between the East Coast and the West Coast. And he ended up making a lot of money off his death. But then you have Shine Poe, who after Notorious B.I.G. died was probably the next in line to be the biggest superstar out of New York, also from Brooklyn. One night at a club, he's 22 years old, he's with P-Diddy, J-Lo, and they're all partying, and some shit had happened. Some dudes try to approach Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him, and Shine pulls out, starts dumping, ends up hitting somebody by accident, but he was aiming at the people that were trying to jump on P. Diddy. So in the aftermath, P. Diddy gets a 22-year-old and says, you got to take this one from me, or else basically your career will be ruined. I'll get you the best lawyers, your family will be straight, I'll make sure you don't get deported, it'll all go away, you'll be all right, self-defense. They even got pulled over, and this is how I know he was an agent, a double agent, P. Diddy that is. He got pulled over with J-Lo in the limo, and they got caught with 4 pistols after a shooting. Now, that just went away, and Shine Poe goes and says whatever, turns himself in as he was the shooter and was supposed to be self-defense. And next thing you know, P. Diddy's bringing in people to testify against Shine on the behalf of P. Diddy. Now, don't get it twisted. Shine was wrong, Diddy, they're all wrong, regardless. You shouldn't be shooting like that and whatever. An innocent person did get clipped in the face and survived. But you took a young, naive dude, like you always do, and you set him up for complete failure. He told Shine that this is going to be what takes him to the next level. He just has to probably do a couple years, he'll be out. Next thing you know, the dude gets sentenced to 10 years. The lawyer that was working for Shine was a double agent for P. Diddy, got him the worst deal, the worst defense. P. Diddy brought in people to testify against Shine to protect Diddy, like he always does, and took a young, naive, up-and-coming rap superstar, sentenced to 10 years and deported to Belize. Now fast forward, Shine does his time, gets out, he ends up becoming a diplomat, part of a big movement in Belize, part of the government. Yet, there's some things that you never forget. And especially when you do a lot of time, like I always say, time doesn't exist, only opportunity. Dudes will wait years and years to get their revenge on you. So let me explain why where he's at in the Brooklyn Federal Detention Center, it is the worst possible place and the easiest place for him to get hit up at, and why he is on watch, why he checked in and is in a turtle suit scared for his life. It's not just the powers that be that want to hit him up. It's not just the feds and all the other inmates. He got one powerful voice from Brooklyn, Notorious B.I.G., killed. And he got a real respected gangster from Brooklyn, Shine, locked up, snitched on him, and sent away to another country. Now, I don't believe in coincidences. The same time that P. Diddy is caught up for all that horrendous shit, Shine Poe makes an appearance in America for the first time in a long time for a convention. And then within a few days of that happening, of him doing his interview about how P. Diddy ruined his life and doing the convention in Miami, P. Diddy checks in, suicide watch, turtle suit, scared for his life, worst place ever. Now the jail he's at, the federal intake place, is definitely a hellhole. Anybody that's ever done time there will tell you it is the worst fucking spot in New York as far as federal facilities go. It's in a spot that's basically in the trap. It's like putting a place where all these criminals are from or have connections from and putting a jail right there. And I think it was 10 to 15 COs have been arrested, indicted, or fired for corruption. Inmates have been killed, suicide. But also, if you're from Brooklyn and the jail is in your city and there's a lot of corrupt COs that work there that grew up in your city, what do you think will happen? Then you mix that with all the people that are scared to death. You got people like LeBron, Jay-Z, Beyonce, the Kardashians, all of these people, Usher. I mean, you saw Usher in that video on Howard Stern talking about he was there at 12 years old seeing things. What the fuck? What are you doing there at 12 years old? And why are you talking about that like that's normal? Over there having Bieber and that weird ass shit, checking in for a wire. I mean, we've all heard the stories. And anyone that's ever tried to speak out on him, they were killed. Biggie, Craig Mack, Shine deported, Mace ran to the church. Nothing wrong with that, but that shows you what the fuck was going on. Kim, her ass, we all know what we think happened to her. We don't think that was one of his ex-wives. That was no accident. So mix it all together. All the gangsters he's double-crossed, all the elites he's double-crossed, and everybody that doesn't know what really he has and doesn't have, all the information that he's been feeding the feds for the past 30 years. And him being so deep in politics as well. He was on that whole vote or die thing, like I said. He ran a whole entire campaign trail for multiple people. And at the same time, he's doing all this horrific, chomo, disgusting shit. Now all these clean-cut athletes, rappers, and politicians acting like they never been to his house. But it's too late to apologize, man. It's all coming out. He's double-crossed elite, sick motherfuckers, and it's all getting exposed. It's been written. The stars are falling. But he's also double-crossed gangsters from Brooklyn. Real ones. And he's in a Brooklyn jail. And when you're in those areas, it's like Miami, right? It's so corrupt in that South Florida jails and prison because 90%, even in Palm Beach, 90% of the officers that work there live in that area. So the people that are coming in there are people they grew up with, people they've known their whole life. And when people are telling you, look, man, you might lose your job, but you'll make $250,000 before you do. Or like they always do, step to somebody that's in that world of crime, you know, and it could be a shadowy figure from the elite side and say, listen, you know, that dude did your boy Shine dirty. And he's in there right now. Reach out to one of the COs, give him this 100 G's and make it happen. I've seen it happen too many times in prison. And these weren't high elite level people. These were people that hurt women and children, and somebody stepped to an officer and they made it happen, and that person was taken out of. And a lot of times it happens in places like Miami or where it's a little bit more wild in the hood or places like that, because everybody knows somebody that knows something about it, and it's easier to make a move. And people that have been doing this evil, demonic shit, notice how they never get their hands dirty. It's always somebody else. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Belly, but they hire DMX portrays a dude named Bundy, and he ends up being the guy that they're gonna hire to kill the minister, right? Because he was spreading too much knowledge, too much good information. There's nothing different here. They told him what they wanted it to look like, and they've been doing this in front of us for years, for our whole lives. But finally, the universe has come full circle on the diddler. Let's be real. He went from being this run around, fucking crazy, rich, powerful dude with all the power on everybody. Now he's at the mercy of the gangsters he double-crossed in Brooklyn. He's at the mercy of all the elites that he turned out, drugged, or tried to expose or extort. And all he can do is sit there and wait and hope that he doesn't get Epstein. because we all know what happened. Stay out, stay free, us.